Okay, fixers. Today we're taking a look at the Nineo Generation 2 9000 LED bulbs, 10,000 lumens. We're going to go ahead and put these in the XTerra today to see if we can improve upon that lighting that we showed in the first part of the video. As you can tell from that video, normal nighttime driving is okay. It's not quite as bright as I would like it, so I'm going to try to swap them out. There's a lot of different ways to do this. You can replace the headlight assembly itself. You can change reflectors, or you can just change the bulbs. I'm going with the changing of the bulbs here. So we'll open them up real quick. Instruction manual. Maybe useful, maybe not. We'll find out. The bulbs themselves. Pretty well put together. Seem pretty solid. Factory plug adapter here. LED bulb. Back of the bulb has a fan, which will keep the units from getting too hot when they're installed. And then you're also supposed to be able to adjust the lighting pattern on the back here. So we'll see how that goes. Pick these up on Amazon for about $35, $39, something like that. As I said, there's a lot of different ways to do things. You can do it too expensive, you can do it too cheap. I try to be right in the middle so that the average normal guy can upgrade their vehicle without spending too much money. And again, 1,000 different opinions. We'll decide after we put these in what we think. So I'll take them up, we'll install them, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is the headlight housing itself. You can see it's not too bad. It's not too cloudy. It's got a little bit of cloud in it. It's a 11-year-old XTerra, but in general, the headlight housing is always pretty okay. So I'm not going to go the replace the headlight housing route. We're just going to do the bulbs, as I mentioned before. If your housings are a little worse, you might want to replace the whole thing. But here, passenger side, driver's side. This one's got a little bit of condensation in it. Upstate New York, it's about 35 degrees outside, so we get a little condensation on it, but again, pretty clear overall. Behind your headlight, under the hood, is your air box, and down in here is where your headlight bulb connection is. It's pretty tight in there. You'll notice when I stick my hand in, not a whole lot of room. Behind the box is equally cramped. So if you look at the headlight bulb itself, the current one that's here, see if we can focus, on the top of that bulb housing right here, you'll see a bit of a plastic clamp here. You have to push down on that to pull that off, and if you squeeze it hard enough, pull it off, you'll see that comes right out. And again, here's your plug that will be plugging the aftermarket LEDs into. Once you remove that plug, and I won't lie to you YouTubers, it's not as easy as I made it look. Like everybody else, I fiddled with it a little bit before I started recording, and it did take a little pressure and a little time. It is a little colder out here today, so if you're in a warmer climate, it might be easier to push, but here in Syracuse, New York, not the case. I also found that if I put a little WD-40 on it, as usual, if you put a little WD-40, spray it on top of that before you squeeze it and pull it out, it slides off a lot easier, and obviously it should go back on easier as well. So once you remove that, you'll see this white ring here, and this white ring holds the bulb in place, and you just turn that and loosen it up, and then you're able to remove the old bulb headlight housing. Over on the passenger side, in front of the battery, obviously behind your passenger side headlight, you'll see the same type of connection. A little bit more room over here. Still not exactly easy to get to. Again, push on that clamp. See, it's a little bit complicated because of the space that's in here. Switch hands, see if it's a little easier. There you go. I was able to pull that off. And there it is. And grab your white clamp, your white retaining ring, and give it a turn, and a little wiggle, you can remove the other headlight bulb. Okay guys, so I took the bulb out as I showed you outside, and I came in here to show you this on the new bulb. So on a new LED bulb, again on the back side here you'll see there's a fan to keep it cooled. Here's your plug, which will plug into that plug where you remove it outside. But what I wanted to show you is this white ring that you take off from underneath the hood that's holding in your current headlight bulb has to go in here. Now when you look at it, you can't do it this way because it'll fall out, and you put it this way, it'll fall out. So what you need to do is turn this bottom piece, turn it to the left, turn it to the right, and then you just pull it off. Aha. So once that's pulled off, you can put your ring on, and you want your pointy parts to go down, and then you're going to put this back over the top, and you're going to turn it a few times to tighten it, and it'll snap in place, and then you have your retaining ring attached to your new LED bulb. Okay, simple as that. Okay, so back out at the XTerra, we got the bulb connected to the retaining ring, and I have now installed it back into the XTerra, which you can see very simple. Just plug the plug into the factory plug and install your bulb back through the headlight housing, tighten your ring, and you should be good to go. So same thing on the other side. Plugged in, retaining ring screwed back in. I will say that putting the bulb in the retaining ring back into the housing is a little bit of a challenge because the cord that now comes out, that you can see there, the cord that now comes out from the bulb does interfere a little bit with the retaining ring, but if you get it in there, you know, hold it steady, you can screw it back on. It's not too bad. I didn't do a big edit job here because it wasn't that complicated. Screw it in, hold it in place a little bit, and then tighten everything down, and you should be good to go. So we're gonna turn the bulbs on, turn the lights on here, and we'll get a shot of it here in the daytime. It's still day, so we'll have to wait till later to take a drive, do a comparison video, and then give you some final thoughts. Okay, so as I said, it's daytime. Not sure how well you can tell in this video here, but there's a lot of light coming out of that housing right now. It's very white, much whiter than the bulbs that were in there, and the other side is equally as white. I have a feeling this is going to be quite bright in the nighttime when we do some driving. You can see a little bit more cloud on the housing, but again, still appears to be very bright. Again, 2,000 lumen lights. You can go bigger. We'll take a drive later tonight, and we'll give you a view of what that looks like. Okay, so I just wanted to show you the bulbs I took out. Again, these aren't the original bulbs because it's a 11-year-old XTerra. They've probably been replaced. I'm at least the second owner of this vehicle, so I don't know when they were replaced, other than the fact that the bulbs do say December 2020 on them and September 20 as well. But you'll notice that they're different. They're not the same bulb, same size bulb, but obviously very different. The one on this side here has a blue tint to it, which you may or may not be able to see, and this one is more clear. They are, for reference, HP5 9007 STs for this one, and then just the HP5 9007 standard, looks like DOT bulb. So I didn't even have matching headlight bulbs in there in the first place. Maybe why they didn't light as well. Obviously these are not LEDs, these are standard bulbs, so should be considerable difference. Looking forward to driving it here tonight and reporting that back to you. Okay, so it's dark now. We'll turn the lights on here in the driveway give you a feel for how they look. And you can tell from there they are quite bright. And there's the high beams. We're going to go out and take a little drive, and we'll show you some video of how that looks as well. This is the factory lights, dark road. And high beams. Okay, so here we are. I'm actually in a cemetery right now. So there are very little lights in here, and you can see that these lights are phenomenal. Here's the high beams and the low beams. A million times better. Definitely. So if you're thinking about doing this to your XTerra, I would say go ahead, give it a shot. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You could probably do, you know, more than me. I did 10,000 lumens. That seems to be more than enough. Nice bright white lights versus those old yellow, not so bright lights. I also showed some footage driving a normal village street. Nobody was flashing me, telling me that my lights were too bright, so that's a good sign as well. Yeah, and I definitely say this is something you should consider, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.